let's take a look at the 2025 INDYCAR schedule, which came out, as you say, earlier than expected. The new season kicks off on the streets of St. Petersburg on March the 2nd, and then the Thermal Club returns, but it'll become a points-paying race after debuting as an exhibition race earlier this year. Jackson's happy he can go. Everyone else who was there, not trackside, goes, oh God, we're in for a bloodbath. Long Beach will be the only race in April, but shifting to a busy month of May will be Barber to move into early May. Then, of course, we get in as well with additional Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. That's on May the 25th. Gateway moves up from August to the middle of June as well, while Road America shifts back to a little bit later in June. Iowa doubleheader returns and Laguna Seca gets moved back an entire month to late July. Portland, our home race, moves up slightly with the Milwaukee Mile shifting to a single race event, as this year's race weekend is a doubleheader. Once again, the season finale will take place at Nashville Superspeedway on August the 31st. Additionally, most INDY NXT races will air on FS1, with FS2 providing supplement coverage across additional races as well. And the 2025 schedule will be at St. Pete, Barber, the IMS with a double header, followed then by Detroit, over to Worldwide Technology Raceway before we go to Road America, then Mid-Ohio, Iowa, double at Laguna Seca, then Portland, Milwaukee Mile, and Nashville rounds us out as well on that season calendar. So, Jackson, starting with you, are you satisfied or dissatisfied with the 2025 INDYCAR schedule? And how huge is it for INDY NXT to have all their races on either FS1 or FS2, or over what we had at the moment with them being exclusively on Peacock?
I should have gotten the Baja Blast out for this one because there's a lot of thoughts here. First of all, going back, it is so satisfying just to see all of those races, Fox, not a bajillion different networks and Peacock and everything. Thank you. It's so clean. We don't have to worry about anything. This makes me happy. I'm a huge fan of the changes that were made. Getting it settled in this early means that we can already get to work on 26 and onward, right? Because we already have this set in stone and we can potentially, fill that gap between, March and April, get some more races early on. I am super excited to see this race back at Thermal. And I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I think they had to approach it initially as a all-star race, as something unique. And now with the lessons they've learned from the weird format and from hours and hours of running, I think that the on-track product there is going to be fantastic, especially when you combine that with being on Big Fox. So actually really, really happy to see that. Laguna Seca moves a little bit further. Obviously, I'm going this weekend, and now that's going to move to the end of July. Couple more double headers for the short ovals would have been nice. Obviously, more super speedways would be nice, but we're getting Nashville back. So overall, yeah, for this, I'm happy. We're not losing any ovals, but we're not gaining anything either. So I'm happy that we at least have consistency. We can also officially say, I think at this point, RIP Nashville street course. It was fun while it lasted. There was a lot of chaos. But no, overall, I'm very content with that. I think the biggest thing though, 100% is what we're seeing with Indy Next. A lot more ovals for this year. Would still like to see obviously them on some of the bigger tracks, but you got to take what you can get, right? But I think the biggest thing 100% is seeing those on FS1 and FS2, because that's 100% going to mean more eyeballs, right? And when you have that knowledge, not only do we potentially see more drivers, we're going to potentially see more sponsorships. I think overall, this is going to help Indy Next in the long run in truly making it the Xfinity equivalent for IndyCar and really making it as big of a deal as it should be, that final step into going into IndyCar. So I think overall, this is really helping IndyCar, show the world what a spectacle it is on all levels of competition, on all levels of skill, on all rungs of their competition ladder.
I agree with you about just Indy NXT becoming a true equivalent to the Xfinity Series with NASCAR. I that's been missing for so long now, and this is a huge step forward to that. And you're right about just knowing what channel all of these races are going to be on, not having to just check 20 minutes or 10 minutes before the start. Is it on Fox? Is it on FS1? Is it on NBC, NBCSN, USA, Amazon, whatever? That's a huge advantage that IndyCar now has on Fox. That's absolutely enormous. By the way, the way my mind works, as in another world, I was a TV executive. When we go to Gateway, when we go to Gateway on June whatever, wouldn't it be great if Fox had a Cardinals game lead into the Gateway game just across the way? The Cardinals are a huge TV pull. Have a Cardinals game lead into that it's Matt White's St. Louis Cardinals, for that matter.
Thank you.
I mean, these are things that I think about that I hope other people are thinking about. I mentioned with the Big Ten and Indianapolis and IndyCar being in Big Ten country, there's so many options that we have here. But yes, having all the races on Fox is such an enormous deal. And I like your point about Indy NXT as well, because that's going to be absolutely huge for them. And introducing people like me, who does not watch Indy NXT anymore at this point because I can't find the thing. And
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I'm 27. I just hate streaming. I put up with it, but I hate streaming. And I'm just not going to get on Peacock to watch Indy NXT. Will I turn on FS1? Yeah, I will. Also, one other point that we haven't mentioned, Fox has announced this however many months ago, this new deal for a streaming platform with two other companies. That could be huge with Warner Brothers Discovery, and is it ESPN? We'll see what that turns into. But from a streaming component, if you are a streamer, that's big too. We can't wait to see what that turns into, but that's huge for the series too.
I've not got much to say on the 25 calendar because it's basically a copy paste. And as Matthew said, when we were talking about the previous portion, they had this set in stone ready and they just all rolled it out in one big go. Fox can, if next season goes as well as we all are hoping that it might do, get through March, April, get through Indianapolis and work, right, this is what we want to do. This is where we want to take it. We can go to Homestead. We can go to Richmond, which of course was on the calendar in 20 before COVID happened, and we've never gone back. Another street race somewhere, a proper street race, not a Detroit, not a Nashville, a proper street race, not a car park with buildings around it. Here's something I'd like to see for 26. Indy NXT and the USF 2000, the USF ladder, have a standalone event somewhere.
Yeah.
In April. Indy can't go to Long Beach. We know that Indy NXT can't go to Long Beach for various reasons, and the paddock is full. Go somewhere, take everyone else with you, and have a standalone.
Indy Net or USF 2000 technically already does that with
Indy NXT, crucially.
Not Indy NXT, yeah. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Maybe that could all tie in together, and that would give them a bit of a push. But I'm extend the season past the end of damn August, for goodness sake, please.
Yeah.
Goodness.
I will say
one thing that I really want them to do. I know why they do it. They're getting out of the way before the NFL season, but again, they're not on NBC, as Matthew pointed out before. So maybe this now doesn't matter so much. I know obviously Fox have NFL as well. So maybe they can shuffle that around. Maybe we can have some races on a Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, like we have at IMS, of course. That would be a Fox thing. And even in the early portion of the season, we can have a Saturday race on Fox because it got no Xfinity on Fox, and then that can lead into UFL or vice versa in the spring of next year. So there's multiple options for 26, I feel like, with a lot of cards on the table with racetrack squiggles on them that aren't being used. Or we could go here.
Give us a Friday night Xfinity race, or not Xfinity, Indy NXT race, somewhere completely in the middle of nowhere, like at Most Sport. I will be there no matter what.
Oh.
I'm there. I'm there.
Yes, please.
Right? Indy NXT, yeah, 100%. And Josh is agreeing with all of us. Matto, I want to throw this back to you though, because obviously the big enemy of IndyCar, it seems, has been, coexisting with the NFL. And it seems like with this Fox deal, that's either, potentially making that more of a possibility, or it's going to really, really set the barriers.
Yeah, you're right. And that's the difficult part about this, isn't
Right.
it? If you do want the season to go past August, you're going to have to give up races on Fox. You're going to have races on FS1, unless you do what we were talking about putting races on Saturdays.
Saturday nights, yeah.
I love that idea, and not Saturday night particularly. It doesn't have to be Saturday night, because Saturday night TV ratings have been dipping for a number of years now. Here is what I thought when Matt said that. So Fox has this deal with the Big Ten conference with football. They get to choose what Big Ten game they want to air at noon. CBS also has a Big Ten deal now. They get to choose what game they have at 3:30. So CBS gets this exclusive pick of a window at 3:30. On some of those weekends early in the season, like this year, one of those games on CBS is going to be Michigan and Fresno State, and Michigan's going to win that game by 100 points. Fox put an IndyCar race up against that, and when everyone turns on CBS and sees Michigan's in the second quarter up by 45 already, let's go to Fox and watch IndyCar. I love that idea. I love that idea.
Can we just get
Matthew? Can I just pick up on Josh's comment quickly on the screen there? Indy NASCAR doubleheader. I loved the idea of them having what we've had at IMS for the last few years, apart from the fact that it was on the road course.
Yeah,
take it somewhere else. That in a world where I have no wife and 2 kids here, I'm on a plane to that. That is a go-to event. You get to see it all. Take it to Road America. Take it to Road Atlanta.
I was talking to Kobe about this. Charlotte Roval. Come on, y'all.
Maybe. Anywhere. That would be a big... And obviously this would be in the early window of Fox NASCAR in the early portion of the season, pre-Charlotte. But that would be a great one. Astro says, hello, Astro. Don't forget Texas and Heaven's Grace's COTA. Please don't take IndyCar back to COTA unless you're going to fix the T and L.
Yeah. I was thinking the Glen. That's got a big enough pit complex that could be doing it.
Ben would like that, being up in the north. It wasn't IndyCar.
My first thought was Road America, which was yours, Matt, because it's in the first half of the season. So getting NASCAR back at Road America would be unbelievable, and to have everything at Road America just feels quite right. Because I think if you think about tracks in America that are sort of central, you think Daytona, you think Indianapolis. Quite a lot of people say the third one they always mention, it is Road America.
This is the last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to leave. And this is going to be the craziest, dumbest thing I've ever said. But I know as a God-given fact, Willow Springs is on sale right now for $2 million. Roger Penske, you're going to buy that track. You're going to turn it into their testing facility for IndyCar. And then you are going to host a doubleheader weekend unlike anything else as a tribute to Riverside, to everything else. Make it a place unique to both IndyCar. Make it a place neither of them have ever been before, or very rarely been before. Make it a new venture for both of them, so it doesn't feel like one is crossing into another's turf, right?
Good call.
Joe of the Desert.
Like it.
There you go.
Joe of the Desert. I quite like that idea. Right, let's do it. You want Road America because all the cameras? Shh. Yes, that's why. Admit it, we all enjoyed the cameras.
Cargo Plastic, Rain Goberg, yes.
Do we think on this conversation about a NASCAR IndyCar weekend, you would imagine that Fox would want it to be early in the season where they would have both races?
Yes, 100%.
Why not Phoenix? Why not Phoenix early in the NASCAR season? I have been for a long time of the belief that we should go straight from St. Petersburg to Homestead, Miami. if you
Same.
want to move Miami up in the NASCAR schedule like we did at one point, that would be an option. But I don't know why we couldn't do Phoenix, because if you're in Miami at any point of the season, weather could make a scheduling nightmare. Go to Phoenix, where rain is never in the forecast, and I say that and it'll show up on championship weekend this year.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
There's a lot of
yeah.
Phoenix bias for me just because I was there for IndyCar's last race in 2018, which I thought was a great show in person, and obviously organization didn't think so, but ever since the revamp there, I've wanted to see that track return so bad. I think it is just a matter of getting butts in seats, and doing a crossover weekend with NASCAR I think is exactly what would make that happen.
It would be a March weekend more than likely. Fox does not have basketball at that point. You can put it head to head in that afternoon window. Maybe you get lucky, get some eyes off of March Madness. I think it's possible.
We'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully something will come on. But we're going to let Jackson go now as well from the program this evening. Thank you very much. Get on. Are you driving down, plane to get to Laguna Seca?
7-hour drive tomorrow morning. We're stoked for it.
Good luck.
It's my Lamar stint. It's my delayed Lamar stint.
Covered
Thanks
it in
so
the rain,
much for having me, boys. Yeah. Thanks for having me, boys.